An integrated Europe-wide transport infrastructure must be able to cope with increasing demand. Such infrastructure is essential for economic progress, but several key challenges need to be met, as Helmut Morsi of the European Commission's Directorate-General for Mobility and Transport explains.
We have to provide sufficient transport means for the increase in traffic flows for passengers and freight. And our time horizon is 2030 and even 2050 in this current legislation. And also to provide to all citizens and businesses sustainable transport with the view of using alternative ways of fuels in order to replace fossil fuels. And the third big challenge is to find the financing to do all these works.
To meet these challenges, the Commission is addressing gaps in Europe's transport infrastructure by funding projects under Horizon 2020 to support research and innovation in the sector. It is also funding projects under Connecting Europe facility with the aim of building up 2 layers of networks.
First, a very fine layer called the comprehensive network, which reaches all the parts of Europe, even remote regions at the periphery, and it's planned that every citizen is only about 30 minutes away from this fine network, roughly, at max. And this so-called comprehensive network we have for all modes of transport: rail freight, rail passengers, road, inland waterways, where they exist, of course, is only possible. And we have also airports, ports. All modes of transport are in this, as we call it, combined comprehensive network. Then on top, we have conceived a methodology together with scientists and the member states on a methodology how to select among this very fine network the major trajectories. These major trajectories are called the core network, and these are the parts, the trajectories, road, rail and so on, and also major ports and airports, which we expect through this analysis to have the highest traffic flows between major cities, major industrial centers across Europe.
The Commission is aiming to complete the core network by 2030 and the comprehensive network by 2050. To reach these long-term goals, it is focusing on strategic multimodal corridors.
For the core network, the horizon for completion is 2030. For the fine network, which is of course even more expensive, it is 2050. Now, I mentioned the Connecting Europe facility. This is another piece of legislation which focuses the budget for the next 7 years.
To ensure an increase of productivity of transport infrastructure and to support innovation in the sector, the Research and Innovation Framework Programme Horizon 2020 specifically focuses on transport infrastructure under the societal challenge smart, green and integrated transport. Projects funded by the EU aim to enhance non-intrusive construction and maintenance methods, as well as introduce advanced technologies to optimize the infrastructure management and operation. Pilot and demonstration projects are expected to be implemented on the core European network.
This will allow us, as I said before, to avoid this patchy financing and construction and to more focus to establish as quickly as possible continuous multimodal trajectories across Europe.